Today, we can confidently state that the earliest known evidence of soft wheat has been found in Georgia. Just as Georgia is recognized as the cradle of wine, it is also home to the oldest known remains of soft wheat. This is a discovery of exceptional importance that extends far beyond the realm of science. Its significance is not merely scientific. I am convinced that this discovery will enhance both the international profile of our country and its economic development. In this sense, the past contributes to the future. Our research team's findings were published in the American Journal of Sciences. This signifies that the international scientific community has recognized the discovery of 8,000-year-old soft wheat remains in Georgia. Soft wheat is the species on which modern bread production is based, making this a major scientific breakthrough. The discovery is founded on the many years of research conducted by the Georgian botanist Nana Rushishvili. The dating of the remains was carried out at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel.
Georgia is a central country, of course, in the Caucasus because it is the location where agriculture, where food can be produced in a very productive way because the climate is ideal for many crops and many plants. And now with this dating that is very old, 8,000 years ago, is the strong evidence and very hard science that Georgia become a principal component in reconstructing the human history in respect to food and, of course, wine. Bread and wine, are two important aspects of our diet. Having obtained these results, which are on one side the integration of a very in-depth research in archaeobotany, that's beautiful done here in Georgia, and the archaeological sites, which are very important, they are also located in Georgia. I think that the collaboration also with other scientists around the world put Georgia in the front line to develop more research, to do more excavation now with the modern technology. And Georgia being such a beautiful place, climatically speaking, is ideal to develop all this, should be central focus of research all around the world. The technological development in our research is super important, and the challenges that we face during the research, new challenges like smaller and smaller samples or less preserved sample, because 8,000 years in the ground change the molecular building of these seeds. So this is a challenge for us to understand what we have in front of us and how we have to operate on it. So having not only an accelerator mass spectrometer in my laboratory that I can tune, adapt to the measurement I have to do it, to the size of the samples, but also the understanding of the chemical composition of this through many other technological instrumentation that we have in my lab at the Weizmann Institute of Science is basic to be success in dating precisely and accurately this small seed of grape or of wheat. It's fantastic.
The combination of wheat and wine is incredibly powerful because you have the staple food of bread and you have the wine that creates the sociability. It has religious connotations. Even on a basic scientific level, they share one thing in common, which is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae yeast, which is used to ferment the two things. So these things always go together throughout humanity, and I think it's very important to have this discovery and to see that these things have been together since the very beginning. Certainly I think it enriches people's understanding of Georgia and understanding the innovation, the domestication that was happening here 8,000 years ago. I think it really says something remarkable about Georgia. UNESCO recognition is extremely important because you are recognizing things that are really essential to humanity, gifts to humanity, and it's an intangible gift because it's about a special winemaking practice that has been carried out over hundreds and thousands of years. And to have this recognition says that this is part of the patrimony of humanity, and I think that's really symbolic and important.
The history of cultivated plants is closely linked to the development of human agriculture, particularly to the period when people transitioned from a nomadic to a sedentary way of life and began to domesticate both plants and animals. In this context, wheat occupies an important place. Its evolution from primitive wild forms to modern, cultivated varieties represents one of the most significant developments in the history of agriculture. The earliest wheat was a wild hulled species with a diploid genome consisting of 14 chromosomes. Following its domestication, the first cultivated form was einkorn wheat, which also possessed 14 chromosomes and retained many primitive characteristics. The next major stage in wheat evolution was the emergence of tetraploid wheats. This occurred through hybridization with a wild species of Aegilops, resulting in plants with a doubled chromosome complement of 28 chromosomes. The appearance of tetraploid wheat marked a major evolutionary advance and gave rise to considerable diversity, including both free threshing and hulled wheat forms. However, the evolution of wheat did not end there. The next major stage in wheat evolution occurred when tetraploid wheats hybridized with another wild grass, Aegilops tauschii, giving rise to hexaploid wheats. These included free threshing wheat, represented by bread wheat, the very species whose remains we discovered at 2 archaeological sites of the Shulaveri-Shomotepe culture. As it is well known, paleobotanical research involves the microscopic examination of plant remains, including seeds, fruits, and other botanical remains. We can now state with confidence that spontaneous hybridization leading to the emergence of soft wheat occurred at these 2 sites of the Shulaveri-Shomotepe culture. The archaeobotanical material was processed in the laboratory of the Georgian National Museum while flotation was carried out under field conditions. The recovered material was subsequently examined by a joint Georgian-Canadian research team before being submitted to us for taxonomic identification. It's well known that the late American scientist Patrick McGovern participated in the wine research project and conducted the biochemical analyses. In one of the ceramic vessel fragments, he identified tartaric acid, a key chemical marker of grape wine. Although this was an important discovery, it would not have been sufficient on its own. The decisive evidence came from the work of the Georgian scientist Eliso Kovadze, who identified grape pollen grains in the same vessel. The presence of both tartaric acid and grape pollen provided compelling evidence that the vessel had indeed contained wine. Georgia is the cradle of both wine and soft wheat. The archaeological material was dated using the radiocarbon method. Radiocarbon dating is based on the decay of naturally occurring carbon isotopes, allowing the age of organic material to be determined. These analyses were carried out at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, one of the world's leading research institutions. The results dated the remains to the 6th millennium BC. Our research revealed not only the presence of soft wheat, but also of the wild ancestor from which it evolved. The coexistence of these 2 species provides compelling evidence that the spontaneous hybridization occurred precisely in this region. Today, we are in the Marnouli district. This is Gatatrili Gora, a site that documents a significant stage in human history. It includes the era of hunter-gatherers exemplified by the Dmanisi hominids. Then came the more developed Neanderthals. Many discoveries were made in the caves of western Georgia. The next major stage in human history is the so-called Neolithic Revolution, a time when our ancestors transitioned to agriculture and production. We can proudly say that Georgia played a vital role in this process. It was considered that the largest and most important processes took place in the territory of the so-called Fertile Crescent, which today is the Near East, Anatolia. Georgia has shown that the territory of Georgia is an extension of this large biocultural space, where very important processes take place. Innovations in human culture, in its development, have been discovered here. Georgia can be proud of its history of archaeological research. This place and this entire territory have been excavated since the 1960s. Groups were initially led by Alexandre Javakishvili, Otar Japaridze, Tamaz Kiguradze. Now our group is working here, and we have known for a long time that the Neolithic era is important to Georgia. However, a new stage began after the introduction of modern technology, and now we know for sure that these archaeological layers date back 8,000 years. Traces of human life in various aspects are being discovered here. Perhaps the most interesting thing we're talking about today is the discovery of wheat. We can confidently state that this location was home to our ancestors who domesticated wheat 8,000 years ago. Furthermore, it is well known that remnants of ancient winemaking have been uncovered here. This site is of great significance to global science. We have evidence of some of the earliest forms of agriculture, as well as insights into our ancestors' technological advancements. This is a hub of innovation. These discoveries play a crucial role in positioning Georgia at the forefront of historical research. Georgia is the place where critical research on significant milestones in human history is currently being conducted, and this is well documented. It is a source of pride that Georgian scientists are leading this research. This interdisciplinary international project is of the highest importance. Contemporary science cannot be confined to a single country or discipline. And this collaboration is likely the key to achieving worldwide recognition. On one hand, there is collaboration with international archaeological institutions, and on the other hand, obtaining accurate dating. The Weizmann Institute stands out as one of the premier institutions providing reliable dating services. Besides gaining scientific acclaim, these discoveries have already captured the attention of international media. This discovery is, of course, very important for agriculture and serves as a source of inspiration. It also serves as recognition that Georgia has always had outstanding nature, which needs to be protected. It is noteworthy that wheat has been recognized by UNESCO as a special heritage, and there are already recognized endemics in Georgia. All of this is connected to modernity, food safety, and ecology. We must acknowledge that quality is crucial for Georgia to keep its position in the world. The recognition of Georgian wheat by UNESCO as part of the World Heritage is significant. A country with an 8,000-year history of bread and wine has much to be proud of. On one hand, the National Museum's strategy was to host the exhibition in Tbilisi. On the other hand, we have the Bolnisi Museum, which already features a high-standard exhibition and infrastructure. We hope that a visitor center will be established here soon, allowing visitors to access full information and spend time in the area. This center will be important not only as a scientific hub, but also as an educational resource. Many stories can be shared here. Bread and wine are undoubtedly significant for any Christian. This importance is well represented in Georgian culture and art. For instance, we can discuss the Ubisi fresco, along with various artifacts. One notable example is a fragment of the Tsebelda iconostasis, which artistically depicts a scene featuring both a jug of wine and bread. Throughout different eras in our history, bread and wine have held a special place. And this fact is also reflected in our art.
As everybody knows, we found the earliest evidence for wine, both here and at Shulaveris Gora. And also more recently, we have just published an article where we have the earliest bread wheat in the world has been found here as well. Different types of wheat have been around for much longer. Bread wheat that we eat today was something that happened later. They all theorized it was around 6000 BC, and it probably happened in this area. And sure enough, we found the evidence to show that. This excavation has been a partnership for 10 years now, where we're working together with the museum, with Dr. Jalabadze. We have been working well together. We have been bringing students for almost 8 years now, I guess, every year to come help and do the excavations and learn excavation techniques.
In conclusion, it can be said that the Marneuli region is home to not just one, but several archaeological sites of global significance. Together, they constitute some of the strongest evidence that Georgia was one of the earliest centers of agriculture in the world.